Harrison Gwamnishu says he was never arrested by the police or charged to court as speculated in the public spaces over the 5.4 million nairas he allegedly removed out of the 20 million nairas ransom he was given to hand over to kidnappers, and as well apparently used the money as a bait to stage sting operation for the release and rescue of the husband and wife simply identified as Mr and Mrs Ibrahim, kidnapped in Aviele community in the Etsako West local government area of Edo State, which generated public reactions after the kidnappers set free the wife and kept the husband in captivity on the ground that the money given to them was not complete, and some persons who have access to the apparent sensitive security information went public to create an impression as if Harrison Gwamnishu stole part of the ransom money, even when Harrison Gwamnishu explained to them that it is part of his operational procedures to remove some cash from the ransom money. His explanation apparently went on deaf ears, and people who may be best described as mischief makers took advantage of the issue to call Harrison Gwamnishu names and reopen his alleged past deeds in a prejudiced manner to cast aspersions on him, even when they knew that Harrison Gwamnishu has a long history with video evidences of assisting security operatives to rescue kidnapped victims, and in some cases, the total money paid as ransom are recovered and returned to the victims' families, and the sting operation usually leads to the killing and arrest of the suspected kidnappers. This, according to Harrison Gwamnishu in a statement he issued through his verified Facebook account some hours ago. He was the one who personally submitted himself voluntarily to the Edo State Command of the Nigeria Police Force to enable the police investigate his action, that he never had the intention of stealing the money, and his action of removing some money from the ransom was part of his usual operational procedures, adding that the police never charged him to court, and while in self-detention with the police, he became the cell president and he facilitated the release of 4 persons who were probably arrested and detained by the police unjustly for a crime the beneficiaries may know nothing about, and a video posted online by Harrison Gwamnishu on Monday night showed he arrived home to the waiting hands of his elderly mother, who was seen in the video singing, dancing with other family members, friends and well-wishers, and screaming loud with joy, while using one of her hands to caress the chest of her son, Harrison Gwamnishu, during which she said a lot of prayers in her local dialect. In his words, Harrison Gwamnishu said, "I did not return alone. During my time in custody, I became the cell presido, OBJ, and later handed over that responsibility to a young man, Honor Abba, who had also been unjustly arrested and detained. While there, I quietly supported the release of 4 individuals who were being held without cause. And today, Honor Abba from Benue State has also regained his freedom. My sincere appreciation goes to my Edo human rights team, led by John Odion Kadiri, for their invaluable support in making this possible. Dear family, I am pleased to inform you all that I have been released from custody. Words cannot express how grateful I am for your support, especially considering that many of you had not yet heard my own side of what truly happened. For barely 1 month after terrorists invaded the Christian school on November 21, 2025 and kidnapped over 230 school children at the St. Mary Catholic Church School in Papri Town in Niger State, the Nigeria government under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has announced the complete release of all the abducted church school children by the terrorists. According to the presidential spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga, the terrorists released the kids based on intelligence-driven operations, but some Nigerians who took to the comment sections of the presidential spokesperson on social media said the government should come out clean and tell the public the truth that it paid money as ransom to the terrorists to secure the freedom of the kids, stressing that terrorists don't release kidnapped victims for free. Bayo Onanuga, the presidential spokesperson, had said in a statement he issued and made available yesterday that the remaining 130 school children abducted by terrorists at St. Mary's Catholic School in Papri, Niger State, on November 21st, have now been released. They are expected to arrive in Minna on Monday and rejoin their parents for the Christmas celebration. 100 were released earlier by the terrorists, taking the total of freed students to 230. The freedom of the school children followed a military intelligence-driven operation. Some social media users who are apparently Nigerians took to the comment sections of the presidential spokesperson post both on Facebook and X social media platforms and expressed themselves over the new developments, some of which are presented verbatim below. Rilwan Ibrahim said, "Released not rescued. Kidnappers don't release captives for free. In all thank God for their lives." Femi Adeboye said, "So what happened to their abductors? Were they engaged in, the way they understand, or they were released after monetary negotiation? We thank God for the release of these children. At the same time, what happened to the abductors?" Akingbade Aganbiade said, "Military intelligence-driven operation. As how many bandits did they arrest?" Banki Alesh said, "A wheeler-dealer government of no direction will never say the truth. Only God knows how much ransom was paid from the hard-earned resources or borrowed funds of this country. No amount of propaganda or damage control. Nigerians becomes wiser every day with all your antics and they're ready for you come 2027. Ruska Oko said, "Sir, with all due respect, do the terrorists release them unconditionally or your government paid ransom?" Joke Megamixer stated, "The presidency celebrates a military intelligence-driven operation for the Papri release, yet says nothing about the fate of the abductors. In a functioning security system, the return of victims is only half the job. Without arrests or neutralized threats, this is not a rescue. It is a handover that comes at a cost that wasn't mentioned." The official account of the Papri release reads like a travel itinerary, not a security report. If this was indeed an intelligence-led operation, where are the suspects? Silence on the abductors' fate suggests a non-combative arrangement that leaves the kidnap industry intact. Increasing rates of mass shooting leading to mass murder in South Africa recorded another new figure on Sunday early morning in the Bekkersdal town near the southwestern part of Johannesburg in the Gauteng province when about 12 masked unknown gunmen invaded a public drinking, accommodation and relaxation spot known as Tavern, shooting into the pub and shot people as they sight them on the street while fleeing, leading to the killing of 9 persons as confirmed by the local authority, with additional 10 persons sustaining injuries. This occurred less than 3 weeks when gunmen stormed an illegal drinking establishment also known as Shebeen at a hostel in Salisville, west of Pretoria, wherein 12 people were killed, including a 3-year-old child, a 12-year-old boy, and a 16-year-old girl, and in 2024 alone, 26,232 murder cases representing more than 70 people killed per day in South Africa was reported by the South African Police Service, SAPS, and a non-governmental organization, the Democratic Alliance. BC had stated in its report earlier in the year that between January and March 2025, 5,727 people were murdered, representing an average of 62 people killed per day in 2025 first quarter, and 6,985 attempted murders were recorded, 75 per day. 43,776 assaults with intent to cause grievous bodily harm were reported, representing 475 per day. 10,688 people were raped, 116 per day. 4,571 kidnappings occurred, 49 per day. 11,111 common robberies and 35,374 commercial crimes were reported, representing 504 per day. And as at the time of filing in this report on Monday morning, the South Africa President, Cyril Ramaphosa, is yet to issue statement or announce policy action over the Sunday recent mass murder in the country, just as residents who spoke with local media blamed the attack on illegal miners known by the group name Zama Zamas, and the residents believed the police are in cahoots with the different gangsters terrorizing communities in South Africa. Local residents who spoke with local news media said that the mass murder in Bekkersdal occurred around 1 a.m. early morning night on Sunday, December 21st, with about 12 gunmen in a white van and silver sedan opened fire at the Quinoxalo Tavern in Bekkersdal, southwest of Johannesburg. A resident who spoke with Newsroom Africa Television said, "It is bad, my sister. The thing is, This has become a norm in this township. Young kids, tender kids as young as 2, 3 years old, when a gunshot sounds, they don't flinch. They would ask you, which direction does it come from? They're used to gunshots. Little kids. Now you can imagine how much about old people. What happened yesterday is a reflection of, I don't know how to put it, maybe, let me put it straight, a reflection of neglect by the police. Criminals, they do as they please here. These guns, they sound each
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.